are here for our next Scattered Woman Live. And we are talking today with Rhoda Serliano. And I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. I don't know if I've ever actually heard you say your last name.
You did it perfect.
Perfect. All right. So you will see on the screen that her name is Rose. That's what it is on Facebook, but we're calling her Rhoda because that's what I've always called her. Rhoda is actually my upline with doTERRA and is the one that I call when I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing with my essential oils. So I thought she would be a fabulous one to bring on and give us a little bit of a few of those background tips of, okay, I want to do essential oils. I think I kind of like this, but what in the world am I doing? So these are the tips that we're going to dive right into. And I'm just going to let Rhoda talk to you for just a few minutes about who she is and what she's about. And we'll just do that real quick, and then we'll dive into those tips. All right, Rhoda, tell us about you.
Well, my name's Rhoda, and I am Rose on Facebook. That's because my name means Rose. So y'all have the background on that.
No.
I am a stay-at-home mom. I have been a stay-at-home mom for 17 years now, since the first child has been in the womb. And I homeschool. I have all four of them, ages 10 through 16. It's a whole new ball game in my house right now. I work with kids in church. I do our WANA, our junior choir. So kids are a big part of my life, and just making sure that they're there. And I'm always helping other people. This week is crazy because I did that. That's what I do. And which is one reason why I love doing the oils, because I get to help people, which I love to do. Mm-hmm. And it is actually a form of ministry for me, because I do not have a lot of people that just come running to me. I'm always like, Lord, just send me who I need to help. And that's actually how everybody I've met through oils actually has came to me, which is amazing. And that's just kind of a little bit who I am. I'm just a regular mom. There's laundry behind me. It's chaos. I am real. I mean, life.
No secrets around here, folks. There are just no secrets.
No. I was like, if I can manage this, yeah, anybody can learn about oils.
There you go. Yeah.
Everybody's got a little bit of time.
Yeah. So talking about Rhoda wanting to help all the people who need help with oils. So y'all have heard me talk about when I started with oils, and our friend Jennifer was helping me with Mini-Me at that point. And I came in from a meeting and just immediately started bawling. And she's going, okay, you just need to sit over here and I'll roll this on you, and you just need to breathe. So major mommy guilt meltdown at that point is really what was happening. And so she rolled some balance and serenity on me and came back 5 minutes later. I was like, whatever that is, I need a gallon of it. I was beyond grateful to have some help. And so she immediately sent me to Rhoda to get set up with oils and whatever we needed. And we are very, 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 very thankful for Rhoda. So yes. So she's got lots of great experience and has put together this list of tips for us. And we actually have about 15 of them that are just talking for people who are interested in oils but haven't really dived in yet. My English is failing me, but that's the general gist. If you're interested in oils, this is what you need. All right, Rhoda, so let's dive into the actual tips. And we've got the very first one is probably one of the biggest struggles we face when we're talking to people about oils, because we're telling them, use these oils, they're awesome, and then they run to the health food store and get something off the shelf and are mad at us because it's not doing what we said it would do. So talk to us a little bit about why you use these quality essential oils.
Okay, so it is, everybody tells me, well, my bottle says pure. I was there. I thought pure meant pure. Hey, doesn't that? I mean,
Mhm.
means nothing else is in there. And I have actually learned that's not the case. There is no guidelines on essential oils.
Yeah.
So you can have an essential oil that is a completely fake oil, it's been alterated or whatever, has other additives, and it is not have to be listed on the bottles. Those bottles can be listed as being a pure essential oil. And that's why you can go to your health food stores. Actually, you can go to your supermarkets. You can go to Walmart and find them. And you're going to try to do things that I've told people to do, or I'm like, well, this is what I do. And they're like, it's not working. And I'm like, yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Because you're not getting the quality. The quality, complete difference. I was telling Laura about the time before I knew how to do this. I actually put peppermint in our water, and it was not the quality doTERRA peppermint. And my family and literally accused me of trying to kill them and poison them. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, we're like, this is awful. Because we all ended up like just kind of not feeling really well for, the rest of our camping trip, which was not fun. We're just kind of like, we're just going to lay around today, not really do anything. So quality really does make a difference. And quality, not just an oil saying it's a good quality, but knowing where the oils come from.
Yeah.
And that's one reason I love about doTERRA, because on the bottom of our bottles, we can actually look up everything with our bottles now with the lot numbers. And that's not available with most companies. And also then they're always sharing videos or telling us where the oils come from. I love that because I'm like, yes, I know what's in my oils and I know it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm really big on that.
Yeah. And to be able to
I
pass
like knowing that.
purity standards and third-party testing and all of these things that let us know it's not just one company saying they have pure oils. It's a completely separate entity saying, yes, we've tested them. They're good.
Yes.
It's huge.
It is. It's amazing. And they're even upping the standard in testing in ways that the testings are being done that even can pick up even more trace things that could possibly get into the oils.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
just like, wow. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool.
It's nice
I saw
to take that seriously.
it is, and I actually saw some graphs of it. Totally wasn't quite able to wrap my brain around all of it yet, but it was like, wow. I was like, that was amazing, the things that they're testing for.
Yeah. Fabulous. So along with knowing that we're getting quality oils, that whatever we're using is actually pure, is actually
Yes.
therapeutic grade. It's also important to understand the different viewpoints when we're talking about essential oils. Because if you're talking to an aromatherapist, they might be saying something completely different than what we might be telling somebody about essential oils.
Exactly. And where a lot of that comes in is when people are talking about taking oils internally.
Mm-hmm.
I do oils internally every single day. That's actually what I've been doing today. They keep me going. The Protective Blend On Guard is probably my top favorite one to do, followed with like lemon and grapefruit and all those fun little citrusy oils. But if I was talking to an aromatherapist or even reading a book that was on aromatherapy based upon that viewpoint, they're going to shy away from all of that type of usage. It's going to be just either applying it on the skin or just putting it into the air with a diffuser or something like that. They're going to be like, no, don't do that. But the reason is because the training and the way that they're looking are two different concepts. Each one has their own place. So when I look, I've got books that I've read that are written on aromatherapy standpoint, and I like those because I can learn a lot on the benefits of my oils that way. Yeah. But then I also make sure I am listening to the founders and the teachers in doTERRA that are teaching us the way to use the oils internally and properly, because I understand they do know what they're doing because they have that training and they're passing that training on to us. So both have their ways, but when you're reading something, you've got to understand that viewpoint. And there are a lot of oils out there that are only designed for the aromatherapy viewpoint, are the only for that type of usage. And so a lot of your books out there are going to be based on that, because that is probably a very large of your vast oils that you can find easily. That's what they're going to be used for. It's just to smell good. Or just to be put into the air. They're not wanting to be placed into the body. So if you're placing them in your body, you have to, especially going back to that quality, knowing that, but also understanding why you're doing it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of resources out there to help you understand what's safe and what's not as far as internal usage. Like Rhoda will talk, and she is very comfortable using them internally and does it all the time with her whole family.
Yep.
And I am not.
Absolutely.
I use it if I am desperate. But it's not something I recommend because it's not something I'm super comfortable with yet. So, but there are lots of places to get information on how to do that. One of those places that you can get a lot of awesome information on that's research-based on using essential oils internally is with the Herb and Essential Oils Super Bundle that's on sale until the end of this month. That particular bundle has at least 2 different courses in it that talk about using oils internally and the research behind it and how to do it safely. And it's from a non-branded perspective. They're talking about using high-quality oils from whatever company you're with, but this is the research on how to do it safely. So if you're interested in that, that's an awesome resource. I will give you, actually, I'll just go ahead and give it to you right now. And then I'll give it to you again at the end. But if you go to scatteredwoman.com/HEOSB17, Herb Essential Oil Super Bundle 17. That is the link that will take you there. And that's my affiliate link. If you decide to buy it, thank you very much. But it's awesome resources. I've been using it this whole last year. I've got some good friends that have been using it. Lots of awesome recipes, but a lot of research and a lot of information education products as well if you're just starting out. So good place to check out. All right, so we're going to dive to tip number 3, which is start with a kit.
Yes, start with a kit. So when I started oils, I went to a class. I was like, whoa, I want a kit. And I actually went to my dad and asked my dad. My dad purchased my starter kit for me. That was his gift to me. And he told me, well, if you'll use this one oil for me and make that up, then you can have everything else. And that starter kit when I joined was called Family Essentials Kit. What is that?
Now, yes.
Yes. And I remember taking it, and I was learning oils on a whole new level because I'd been using them for over 13 and a half years total now. And at that point, I guess I'd been using them for about 7-8 years. And so my viewpoint was changing. I was learning. Mm-hmm. And I'm taking this kit, I'm going, wow. And the more I learned, I was like, ooh, I want that oil, and I want that oil, and I want this oil. So I learned something early on. Make your list, your wish list. But when you make your wish list, make sure, like, say that you put lavender on your wish list. Kind of jot to the side, why did you put it on your wish list?
Yeah.
Was it because you wanted to help with calming, or maybe you were wanting to see if this helped you at night to rest? Maybe you wanted to see if it would benefit because it's a natural antihistamine. So maybe you were wanting to see that side. And so I have learned that because I didn't do it in the beginning. And then I'd be like, why is this oil on my wish list? I don't remember. And then, so get your starter kit, start with that, and then just make your wish list. But put those key points to the side. Why did you want that oil? What made you want to try it? And then what I did is every month I would try to get 1 to 2, sometimes I could get 3 different oils, and I would add that to my kit, and I would add it to my thing. I started out with this little bitty box of oils, outgrew that, so then I went to a shelf. Now I can fill up a fingernail polish holder, wall rack that I think holds around 180 oils. I actually have, I almost have every single oil out there that doTERRA offers. I don't have every single one of them, though, because I've come across and said, you know, this one has to be in my house, and this one is just on the wish list. And there always gets the priority. But I also keep a box of those. So I have a closed box that stays in my house, and that's called my overflow because I know I'm going to need that oil before really quickly. So I get it when I can. Like if it goes on sale, I grab it.
Exactly.
And that box stays closed, and only the oils that can be out can be used. Don't use my oils in my box. And if you do, then you better make sure you mark it off the list because it's no longer in the box. Actually, I use an app to actually keep up with what I have, and it helped me tons when I started doing that. I just used I think it's the Cozy app, and I just put in there and made a list. I mean, any app that makes a list, and that's what I do. And it lets me see what's on my wish list, what I need, you know, and it helps me stay focused when I go to get an oil. Because when you go on to order an oil, it is so easy to go, ooh, and next thing you know, you've got 20 things, and you're going, oh, ooh, I got to narrow that down. So kind of having that list helps you narrow it down. And getting a kit is easier. And now they have so many different kits that, I mean, can fit anybody's needs of where they need to start out with. And I love that.
Yeah. So if you are a Scattered Woman crew member and you've seen my home health arsenal or my bug buster protocol, any of those, all of those oils are in one kit. So if you just want to start with this basic thing, you get one kit. You'll learn how to use those really well. And then you've got this wish list off to the side that says, okay, I've built up so many points now, I could get something for free. So
I love points.
Amen. I think all of the random ones I have gotten because I had points built up because I use the ones in my kit all the time. And so, yes, it's really, really cool. Okay.
Yeah.
We're talking about using all oils. It really sounds like we're just drowning ourselves in them, which is not really the case. And we want to make sure that new oilers don't overdo it.
Exactly. Because very straight up. Okay. Because oils are concentrated. So I have got roller bottles all over my house. But I will tell you, I have right here to the side of me, this is my little pouch that goes in my purse. Okay, here's why. Because, you know, let's say that I have oils. I do have some of my larger oils, but if I have mixes that I make up with my kids or for myself, I put them in little bitty bottles like this, and this is what we carry on the go with us. So this would be like, this is lavender because I have a lavender loving son. I'm not going to carry a large bottle because, one, your purse is going to get really heavy, and then you're going to need some sons to carry it. Now you know what.
And those little samples are tip number 7. So I flipped up to that.
Okay. So yeah. So that's where that comes. But then by doing that, when I make up those mixes, then I do that, and I have it at home, and I have it in my purse. So even like our blend, Clary Calm, for an example, I love Clary Calm. it's like mommy's best friend from not being like mommy Hulk.
Uh-huh.
But I have a 10-year-old daughter who can be 10-year-old Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
So I make her up Clary Calm, but she doesn't need it at the strength that I need the Clary Calm.
Right.
And I don't always even need Clary Calm full strength. So I might take Clary Calm and divide it into 2 roller bottles. And when it comes to hers, I may make her bottle like a fourth or even a third of Clary Calm. And then I fill the rest of her roller bottle up with a fractionated coconut oil. And not overdoing it. Tell y'all a story about lavender. Because sometimes doing too much of an oil has the reverse effect. And this is one thing, like when I found this out about lavender, I was like, whoa. My babysitter found this out the hard way. I told her, just do 1 swipe down my son's spine at bedtime and they will go to sleep. And she kept reapplying and reapplying and reapplying. And from what I gathered, she did this like at least 5 times. And what she ended up with was a extremely hyper little boy who could not go to sleep because she overdid the oils. So when you're doing oils, you don't have to sit here and stick, 10 drops on you. 1 drop can go such a long way. And 1 drop with coconut oil even goes a longer way because that drop is still going to get into your body, but doing the oil with it, it just makes it where you can spread it out easier onto your skin or onto the bottoms of your feet and things like that. So whenever you're doing an oil, don't think, oh, this bottle is going to last me like a few days. I mean,
No.
They can last forever because you're going to not be using it at full strength. Probably, I would say 99% of the time.
Oh yeah, I dilute.
I mean,
I don't know that I use anything straight.
I will say, when I use something straight on myself, it is probably because I have a migraine. And then, yes, I will use more at that time. And I've learned if I need to reapply, I can reapply. But yeah, you don't, especially when it comes to with our children.
Oh yeah.
It is always easier to apply more than to take it off.
It doesn't come
because it's got to go through the body. Exactly. It's got to go through the body. So as I tell people, I would rather have an oil that I diluted and I may need to reapply it every 20 to 30 minutes than to have it to full strength. And I need to, it's going through the body too fast or faster than when it needs to.
Yeah. And I'm making myself a little note over here for people watching. If you don't understand how this whole dilution thing works, because that's something that's pretty unique to essential oils, or
it is,
I'm sure there are other things that use it if you're in chemistry or whatever, but that's something I knew about beforehand. So I will find a good dilution chart and I will link to that in the comments when we're done, so that you will have something to go back and just figure out this whole dilution thing and how many drops of superior oil and we'll figure that out. The other thing I should note with that, if you decide to order some oils, you want to get your kit and you want to get it through me, thank you very much. That also benefits Rhoda if you do that. But whoever orders a kit through me, I send them the ebook that I wrote that has these tips and a bazillion more, along with the dilution chart and recipes and all sorts of stuff for free. So if you want one resource really quick, I can send you that one. If you decide to order a kit, just let me know and I will shoot that over and you'll have it really fast. Okay, so don't overdo it. A little bit goes a long way.
Yes, it does. I'm amazed at how long my bottles can last.
Right? Right.
Even the small bottles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we wouldn't know these things I wouldn't have known a lot of these things had I not had Rhoda in my life and Jennifer in my life who could tell me this is how you're supposed to use them. My daughter is, cutting teeth and she's screaming all the time. So what am I supposed to do? How can I help her? I had Rhoda. I had Jennifer. I could call and say, okay, what do I do? I could text them and say, well, what do I do?
Absolutely. So yeah, the tip, find a mentor. That is so important when you're getting started with oils. It's because even you can have the greatest books there are, but having somebody there who has been using the oils, that kind of understands those oils a little bit more, that is amazing. And I have so many different people on my team that if I had told them, hey, you're going to be able to mentor somebody someday, you're going to be able to teach people, you can be that person who guides somebody on what to do, they would have probably looked at you and gone, no, I know nothing. And now I've got them, and they've got people that they're talking to, and they're like, and sometimes they still come back and they're like, okay, I just want to double check this with somebody else too. And I mean, I even do that sometimes, even with my upline or some other friends that I have. I'm like, sometimes we'll sit down and hash things together. Do you think this is the best thing? And those are our mentors. And one thing that I do for anybody on my team, I tell them, I was like, if you want my phone number, I will give you my cell phone, and you can text me day or night. And I have people who literally will think of a question in the middle of the night, because sometimes as moms, we stay up later than we should, and that's when our brain finally thinks of those things. And I tell people, I can look at your message and go, oh, that is not life-threatening. This is not an emergency. They just thought of their question. Note to self, in the morning when I wake up, I need to do it. I have had people who are like, but I don't want to bother you in the middle of the night. And I'm like, I'm your mentor. I'm here to help you. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night. And I actually have a friend that she messaged me in the middle of the night. I had had several messages in the night, had slept through all of them. And she messaged me. My phone was on vibrate in the bottom of my purse. I was exhausted. I don't remember what I was doing. I heard my phone vibrate when she messaged me. And she was having a situation with her daughter. They were traveling. And she was at that point, Rhoda, you pick up my phone and you answer, and you help me figure out what I need to do, or we've got to find the local ER around here in the middle of the night. And she messaged me, and I woke up. And I will tell anybody, that was not me. That was God waking me up saying, hey, you have somebody here that you're mentoring, and they need you right now. So what I tell people, if I'm mentoring you and you're on my team and you send me a message, whether it's through Facebook or on my cell phone, whatever, if it's an emergency, God's going to wake me up, and I don't care, because if you need me and you need that mentor, I'm here. That's what I do for my team. And that's, I know I've done that for Laura. I've done that for so many people. And then I was like, to see them grow is just amazing, because it's like all of a sudden you're like, they're not asking me all those questions anymore. And then I realize they don't need me as much anymore. And that's good, though, because to give that attention to other people, and now they can give that attention to other people too. And it's honestly a big part about, I think, oiling is being able to mentor and teach others. I love doing that. It's probably one of my favorite things about it.
And that's one of the real benefits of working in multi-level marketing, is that you have mentors. And if the mentor right above you is not doing their job, you have access to the one beyond them. And there are people there built in that can help. So while network marketing is not always my favorite thing, I can definitely appreciate it for this factor.
Well, see, and I've even, I don't think that you've gotten to meet our Blue Diamond that is above us in our upline. But I have. I've gotten to go on a trip with them for training. He has come to where we are in Longview several different times. And I would say his mentorship of just saying, you can do this. well, let's try this. I'm always learning things new from him. And I look at him and his wife and I'm thinking, and y'all got 6 kids. So, and they take the time to mentor, and that to me, just, it means so much. I mean, well, I'm just, I'm over here and you're over here, but you still take the time. And I can't say that I've seen that a lot of places. So
Yeah,
it's one thing I absolutely love. Love doing it.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I'm hearing your husband. So
oh, you can hear him?
Yeah.
He's actually really quiet right now.
Sorry, that's why I'm laughing. If anybody's seeing me laughing, I'm hearing him, which makes me laugh. Okay.
He hasn't been to bed yet today. This is his first time, so.
Oh, mercy. This is what happens when you get crazy busy. Let's serve everybody mamas together in one room and husbands. And
yes,
it just, life happens. And these lives are no exception. Okay,
exactly.
So we touched on this briefly, where you said, having a book is great. Having the resources that I put out for free is great, but you need a mentor. Mm-hmm. So
absolutely.
One of the things going along with having a mentor is making sure you're taking responsibility for educating yourself. So asking those good questions of your mentor, but also buying a great resource reference book. Yes. So that you can look up, okay, I've got this one oil and it does this one thing for me. What else can it do?
Yes. And one thing that I hadn't mentioned to you earlier is when you buy a book and when you're talking to your mentor, let them know what book you're reading.
Right.
Or ask your mentor, what book should I get? I recommend the same book for the people that I'm mentoring that I have in my home. Mm-hmm. Some of my friends also have other books, and if they have another book and I'm like, okay, well, what are you reading? I just tell them, hey, well, can you send me a picture so I kind of understand exactly what you're talking about? But I'm going to show y'all my favorite book. Oh my goodness, is this one? It's called The Essential Life. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to show y'all why this is literally my all-time favorite book for getting started. I wish this book was there when I got started, okay?
That one's just a few years old. I think they're only on their, 4th edition now?
Yes. And I am a color-coded person. So when I started oils, the first book I got, everything was black and white. And I was like, I don't really get this. doTERRA color codes their books, which I think is phenomenal because it's color coded in what is used, then the next, and then the next. So it's like, oh, I don't have this oil, but I have this one, so let's use that one. That's where that comes into play. But I love this. If y'all can see that. Can you see that, Laura?
A little bit. Yeah, I see a bunch of colors and dots.
Yes. So like this will give you in the front like a reference of whatever you're dealing with. You can look it up, and then it's going to give you those ideas, some of the top oils or blends that you can use. Then it's going to tell you, should you use it topically, aromatically, or internally. And then on top of that, it's going to give you a reference page. So let's say that you're dealing with your allergies. It's going to give you the reference page and say, oh, but if you're dealing with the respiratory system, go look on this page in this book. And then you've got like 3 to 4 pages on your respiratory system and how the oils can support it. And it's even going to go more in depth. And then to top it all off, in this book, I have not seen this in any of our other books, but this one even has pre-made recipes or mixes for your roller bottles or diffusers that you can make up.
Well,
so that's one reason, because a lot of people, when you're starting, they're like, how do I know what to do? Well, this has got a lot of pre-made mixes, and I've actually used several out of here, and I love them. So, say, okay, I just opened up to a page, and it's got your Dapper Rash blend. So it's say combine 1 drop of Roman chamomile, 1 drop of lavender, with fractionated coconut oil and apply. So it's telling you, it's walking you through those baby steps. So good book, and that's why I said I love this one, because if you don't have your mentor who can't, you can't get to them right then, this book in itself is almost like having a mentor in a book, because it's walking you through those baby steps. And I've got so many people that they're just like, oh, I love this book. Then we have another book, and I only use books that are for when people are getting started that are specific to doTERRA, because it's going to teach you how to use the doTERRA oils. And that is important when you're using certain oils, because it goes back to that whole in the beginning as your viewpoint and the quality, so that you know that you're using them and based upon the quality. Because I'm not going to go to the drugstore and use those oils the same way that I'm going to use the oils recommended in this book, because been there, done that, don't need to ever make that mistake again. Actually, my husband has forbidden any other oils from drugstores to even come into our home. Within 6 months, he like trashed them. I was like, but that cost me money. And he's like, trash them. I'm like, okay. So yeah, a good book is amazing. And this book is also, because I gave you the link for it, but I forgot to tell you.
Just talking about will be in the post that's coming on Friday.
There's actually an app also that you can get on your phone.
Awesome.
And you can actually buy this book and a couple of other books and have them on your phones. You don't usually have quite as much as your information on the apps as you do with the book. So I like having the app and my hard copy.
Yeah.
But carrying around my hard copy my boys don't like carrying all my bags all the time. It's like, Mom, what are you carrying?
We don't want to carry it
around. Like, I've got like 4 bags in there, 4 books, and like 25 oils. Yeah.
So yes, have a great book, but keep it at home. We'll get the information for the app. We'll put that on the post as well, so you've got something that's a little more portable. We've talked about number 7 a little bit when we were talking about number 4, but just carrying samples. You hear MLM people talk all the time about make sure you're carrying samples so you can hand them out. And yes, if you're doing this as a business, you should have samples that you can carry out. But even beyond that, this is just having them available for your personal use. The ones that you use all the time, keep them stashed.
Yeah. Probably the biggest sample that I hand out all the time, which you've already mentioned, is actually Balance and Serenity.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot say how many times I've ran across somebody and Balance and Serenity has just been like, here. And they're like, I'm like, just take it home with you. Mm-hmm. Call me later. We'll discuss it later. Just take it home with you because you need it right now more than me. And hey, I already have my full bottle of it at home. And so, yeah, that and I just got hated a flower. So, okay, I'll take care of it later, baby.
Why does it keep breaking?
That's life. But yeah, I always try to have samples. Lavender is another one that's usually always in my purse. And when you think of samples that you're carrying with you, you don't necessarily have to think, oh, what do I think somebody else is going to want? Carry what you're using in your purse or in your bag, because those are the ones you're going to be familiar with the most. And those are the ones you're going to be able to help people with the most. I carry probably Deep Blue a lot in my purse. And sometimes it may change depending upon the day. I may be waking up and going, this is just a day that, I need a little bit more Motivate today. And so my Motivate sample goes in my purse. I actually have a pouch that I need to refill that I think holds 60 oils. And I take all of my oils and I fill them up in the small bottles. And I take bottles out of that depending on what I need during the day too.
There you go.
So
just keep them ready to go, and
yeah.
you can grab what you need. That's a smart idea. They're ready to go.
It is.
Personal ones. And then you've
Yeah,
also...
and they've got...
Go ahead.
They've got different sizes of those cases. Let's see. Give me 5 seconds. I'll talk to him real quick. I'll reach it.
So while she's grabbing her sample box and bag to be able to show you, that didn't take very long at all.
No, it literally was like my small one. It was right over here. Okay, so like this carries like 49. It's like, so you need to see how tiny that actually is. See y'all?
I mean, it's a good size.
It is.
Thin.
Yeah, it is. It's like, like a CD holder.
Early 2000s.
If you think of that. And this is my smaller one, and I have a larger one. Let's see, I've just kind of got part of it filled up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my larger one is more full. And that way I can just take it and go, oh, this is what I need today. And I've already got it there. And it helps me not be overwhelmed sometimes in the mornings when I'm like, I don't want to take my big bottle because I already have that tiny bottle. And I'm just like, I am so needing this oil today, and it needs to go in my bag. So
there you go.
Have them ready to go too. I do that a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got them ready to go, but you also need to be able to use them aromatically, like we talked about. So getting a good diffuser. Yes. We're not going to talk about this one too much because I've got a lot of information on diffusers in my Gifts for Essential Oil Lovers post. I will have it linked in the post coming up on Friday. So we won't talk a whole lot about that other than say, get a really good diffuser. You will need it.
Yes, get a good diffuser. And there's so many good ones out there. I have people ask me all the time, do I have to get a doTERRA diffuser? No. I'm like, I've got doTERRA. I've got drugstore brands. I've got other brands. I've only came across one diffuser I hate. When looking at diffusers, I'll give you this one tip with them. If you are a busy mom or a busy dad, make sure it has auto shut off, because that is a lifesaver, because you don't want a diffuser that's going to diffuse for 6 hours and you were gone during the day and now you have a diffuser. I have one that it just blinks a red light over and over. It doesn't just shut off. It just starts blinking. And I'm just like, mm-mm. So that diffuser, do you know where it stays? It stays in a closet. And there's so many different options with them. You know, some of them change colors. Some of them are more decorative for your homes. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking at diffusers, look for auto shut off and look for what fits your needs in your family. Look at the time frame, the size of a room you're going to put it in, things like that. But make sure it's a good one, you know, and watch for sales on diffusers. I picked up a $60 one for around $30 around Black Friday time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a good time to watch them.
Yeah.
So we've got our samples, we've got our diffusers, and along with those sample bottles is to make sure you're using the appropriate containers, specifically glass, when you're storing oils. Anytime you're using oils, use a container that's not going to break down. It's not going to leach chemicals. Glass, stainless steel, all those things. I'm going to fly through these real quick because we are running out of time, and I want to make sure you can answer some of those questions we got.
Okay.
I may have you talk a little bit about these next two, though. Number 10 was just to teach your kids. A lot of times people will say, just keep your oils out of your kids' reach, which, yes, you should, but you also need to be teaching them how to use them responsibly and well.
Yes. Especially if you have a mix that you've made up that's for them. Yeah. Let them know, this is how you use this oil. This is what you do with it. This is, it's going to help them. My children, like I said, my youngest one is 10. So once they're starting to understand and they're asking what to do, then they're old enough to start learning the concepts of the oils and why we're using. My boys amaze me at times because I will have something going on. Mom, you just need your aroma touch. Let me go get it. And I'm like, whoa, cool. And they will pick up those tips if you just start using them or telling them, well, we're going to use this because of this. They're actually going to pick up those tips. I've had a child when he traveled. I went over the book with him, kind of explained it, sent my sample with him. He went to Louisiana and said, here's your oils, here's your books. If you got a question, you know where I am. And he was able to do it, and because he had the understanding, and he actually was teaching his aunt. And I was like, wow, or his cousin, about So it's important to teach them, because when you teach them, they're going to know how to use it properly, and they're not going to use them too strong or whatever, because they're going to understand, I need to dilute it. I need to use this oil, and they're going to understand why they're using that. And that's so important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which that kind of goes into the next one, doesn't it?
Yep. Yep. So we're not only teaching our kids,
Yes.
We're sure we teach the spouse too.
Yes. Absolutely. Because so many times I know I got in this frame of mind. Well, I know he should know, but telling him why I put lavender on this child at night. I didn't tell him why I was doing this oil in a bathtub. And I will never forget the night that my husband called me, and he goes, how much of, I think it was peppermint, do you put in the bath? And I'm like 1 drop? Why? My body is on fire. I've put 10 drops in there. Ooh. And I was like, wake up call moment. Why am I not telling him what I'm using? If your spouse can go with you to classes, let them go with you. I mean, if you've got classes that will invite children to come, let your kids go. I open all my classes to children. That way they come in, they learn. Even if they're just coloring, they're going to pick up something. And when you take your spouse to a class, you're going to hear one thing, they're going to hear another thing, and you come together and go, okay, what did we get out of this? And it's amazing the different tips you learn. And the next thing you know, then they know how to help out with the kids more with the oils. They know how to help themselves with the oils. And then next thing you know, they're going to call you and say, hey, honey, can you bring a sample of such and such, because such and so at work has such and such going on, and they need this. I've had that happen.
Yeah.
So, yes.
So
teach the rest of their family.
Yes. And quick note about the peppermint in bathwater. In case you have not heard, oils and water don't mix. So if you're running any oils, especially any hot oils like peppermint, cinnamon, I wouldn't put those in a bath to start with. But if you're going to in coconut oil, first, dilute them down to the nth degree and then put them in the tub. Don't just put straight oil in your bath water. Bad news.
Coconut oil
all over the place.
And I always do Epsom salt too with them, and it helps them disperse through.
Yep.
Don't just put them straight up. You'll be screaming later.
Oh yeah, I've been there too. Done that. Okay. Not sure to do it again.
As I'll say, I think everybody makes that mistake, and it's like, we really shouldn't be making this mistake. Mm-hmm. Too many people are.
Yeah. So learn from our mistakes. Dilute.
Yes.
All right. So number 12 is to just start an essential oil journal. So tell us a very little bit about what that looks like.
To start a journal, just go get yourself a little notebook, and whenever you find, just jot it down. I've got a section in here that I have that's capsules, and whenever I come across something I like, I just jot it down, and that way I have it, because sometimes you're going to come across mixes that are not in a book, but you're going to want a place to write them down. The other thing with your journal, before I write them in my book, if it's something I'm trying, I write it on a sticky note or paper, but it doesn't go on the papers until I'm like, oh, I love this, or somebody else has used it and said they love it. So that's just what I mean with journaling. And if somebody else has a journal and they're willing to let you borrow it, borrow their journal. I've loaned my journal out I don't know how many times. But it's amazing, and you will find out that you're going to learn, and you're going to learn what works for you and your family and the people that you're around all the time by doing that.
Yeah, and it's a great place to just take notes on how you feel after you've tried it. You know,
Exactly.
did it work for you? What were the responses? And along with keeping track of just how you felt physically, also note how you feel emotionally so that you can start exploring the emotional connections with the oils
Yes.
and how that all fits together. So show us a little bit
Yes.
of
And
the emotions.
okay, so with emotions, what I recommend is the emotions book, and you can get the same place that you get the other book. And I think they also have this one on the app that you can get. But sometimes you may start using an oil, and you're like, I thought I dealt with this. Why I feel like I keep dealing with this emotion? And probably 95% of the time, if I go to my emotions book and I look at that oil and what emotions this helps address, I'm going, ooh, it's helping me to address that oil or that emotion. And this is something I need to work through. It could be just as simply as an emotion of being overwhelmed. It could be the emotion of processing grief. So many different things, because our emotions are such a huge part of us.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one thing. I mean, they go hand in hand, and there's so many different charts. It breaks it down by oil, by blend, and there's even different charts like I'm feeling really angry today, and I really want to get calm and happy. And it shows these are the oils that will take you from there to here, and will give you the different tips on that. So a good emotions book, it's really nice to have on handy, especially when, there's so many emotions that we can go through in one day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As women, period. But then you add in kids and husbands and everything else, and we are dealing with emotions all over the place.
Absolutely.
We do want to give people one word of warning when it comes to citrus.
Yes, citrus oils are, I just totally forgot the word.
Sensitive and phototoxic.
Very good, thank you. So basically, you do not want to put a citrus oil on your skin and then go out into the sun. But it is not just the sun. So many people go like, oh, but I can go to the No, you cannot go to the tanning bed. You do not want any UV rays because it can cause sensitivity. I have actually been blessed that I've not had that happen to me, because I've actually applied citrus oils and not thought about it and then ended up out in the sun. And I have not had that happen, but I've had other people that they can have a very diluted amount of citrus oil and it's on their skin, and they're like, wow, I ended up with that happening and got red. So that's just one thing. There's a couple of other oils, but if you've got your good books, those books are going to have that warning in there already for you. And different oils are going to be different lengths of time frame. So what I just tell people in general, if you love your citrus and you absolutely have to have one topically, try to figure out if you can do that in the evenings or when you're not going to be outside during the day. Or either find a place where it's going to be covered and not where your skin is going to be exposed. So like, don't put it on your wrist or the back of your neck or something like that.
Mom, I watch Hello Kitty.
Yes.
We've been on here a long time.
Oh.
So I will also link to another post, another article by Healing in Our Homes. That's another doTERRA person. But she has a list and a graphic of all the ones that are phototoxic, all the ones that are photosensitive, and then which oils have, or which blends have, it's a distilled bergamot, however you say that one. And that particular way they distill it makes it not phototoxic. So all of that's laid out graphically. If you're visual like me and just need something to look at, that will be in the post as well. All right, very last tip. Watch for specials. We talked a bit about this before, catching things when they're on sale and stocking up on things you know you use a lot of. Anything you want to add to that one?
Well, like this month is May, and we actually have specials. doTERRA does specials every month they always have a new product or a product that's 10% off every month. Mm-hmm. Then every month, if you order a certain amount through a certain way, which that's something we can discuss later, there's always a free product that you can earn every single month. Then every once in a while, it's about every 3 months or so, but I've been noticing they were doing it kind of not so every 3 months, so you kind of don't know. Big special, and they actually did one this month, and I would say when I saw it, I was like, oh, yay! Because on special, we had 10% off as our On Guard cleaning concentrate, which was on my wish list of needed. Then my order was large enough to qualify for the free 200 PV promo. So I got free On Guard, free wild orange, free toothpaste, and the free On Guard hand sanitizer spray. So all of that is coming to me. All I did was place my order for what I needed, which honestly was our vitamins. Then on top of that was specials that I love, which like you kind of mentioned the points. Mm-hmm. So I even cashed in, I think it was like 125 points this month. So I got approximately almost like $350 worth of products for free this month, just because I paid attention to those specials and I took advantage of them.
Yeah.
And I do it every time. So I'm just like, you learn how to use those specials. And if you need help learning how to use specials to really work, that's where that mentor comes in again, because we can help you go, yeah, let's explain how this works. Let's get the
It's just,
absolutely.
I'm forever having to ask something. But yes, if you are somebody who loves a good deal and you're like, man, but essential oils are so expensive, this is how you make them not so expensive up front, is you take advantage of those specials and the deals, and you save up your points that you get racked up and cash them all in at once. And I feel like we could do a whole video on just how to do that, but
we probably, yes, you're right.
I think we probably could. It's a bit of a process and it's something to learn, again, while you have your mentor. But it's huge in making oils more accessible and helping you build up a stash of things that you want and not just the things that you absolutely need. Okay, so I'm going to give you one final little bonus tip, and you've already seen it, but this is to grab that herb and essential oil super bundle. If you are looking for information on using oils well and are looking for something that's non-branded, it's not doTERRA specific people, it's not Young Living specific people, it's not plant therapy specific people, it's just generic, non-branded essential oil information. And herbs. If you love gardening and you're all about herbs, those are in there too. But it's about $600 worth of products for $47. So it is a fantastic resource. There's a new one coming out the end of this month. So as soon as I get more information on that, I will let you know. But for the 2017 version of this bundle, it's gone May 31st. So if you want it, this is your last chance to get it. So we'll leave that up and let y'all grab it. Thank you, Rhoda, so much for joining me today and getting all of our tips out for new essential oil users. And hopefully this will really help somebody who needs it. So, all right, y'all, we're going to hop off. But thank y'all for joining us, and we will catch y'all next time. Bye, y'all.
Bye.